Are you hungry?
Give me something good.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Görgött. Today we're not really cooking, but we're making a Bavarian cheese spread called Obatzda. And it's a really nice cheese spread. I learned to love it when I lived in Germany. And it's best eaten at the Oktoberfest with a big beer, a mass of beer, and a fresh pretzel. But yeah, I'll make my version. The difference from the classical version has cream cheese in it. Mine doesn't, because I have a very nice Camembert. So I don't think, we want to keep as much taste of that as possible. And I'm also using red onions instead of the classical normal yellow onions. Normal onions. And I'm also pickling some onions to put on top. But before we have a look at the ingredients, as always, do me the favor, click the subscribe button and check that bell icon so you can support the channel. Now let's have a look. Obviously we have our Camembert. This one is a French one. It's really ripe, almost overripe, but not overripe yet. We have some butter. We have a red onion. We have some cumin, some sweet paprika powder. We have a German wheat beer, a Bavarian wheat beer, and we have some chives. So we'll start with prepping our onion and the chives, as well as pickling the onion. I'll see you in a bit. First thing we'll do is to add the sugar. This is a classical 1, 2, 3 pickling. At least that's what you call it in Sweden. And normally you would have a strong vinegar, like double the strength that we get here in Switzerland. So in Switzerland it would be a 2, 2, 3 pickle. So 2 parts vinegar, 2 parts sugar, and 3 parts water. And we're just going to put that on the stove to let the sugar dissolve. For our onion, we want some to decorate, just like rings. Those are the ones we're going to pickle. Not too thick. That's enough. So we put them to one side. And the rest of the onion we're going to chop finely. We can do one together. And why I'm using red onions is because I prefer the kind of sweetness that comes with the red onion, and it's not as strong. So cut up the rest of your onions, chop them, and then we'll do the chives. Now we're done with our red onions, and our liquid is already ready. The sugar has dissolved. So we'll just put in the rings and put that to the side and let them soak. And we can continue with our chives, just finely chopped. And I don't put the chives into the mix. I'll just kind of put it on top, decorate. But also give a really nice chivy, oniony taste to it. That should be enough for our purposes today. We'll chop up the cheese a bit. Now we have everything that goes into the mix. We have our warm butter. That's 100 gram butter to, in this case, 235 grams of cheese. We have our cumin. I'm going to put them in the mortar quickly. I really love cumin, so this is a little bit more than a teaspoon. 2 teaspoons of paprika. Put that in as well. Now we just want to lightly mortar these. Shouldn't be a powder, but a little bit smaller. Oh, it smells so good. You basically just want to release the flavor. And now this Camembert is so far gone, so you don't even have to cut it. We can take it and just kind of rip it apart. This is going to taste amazing. I saw this Camembert at the cheese store on the weekend, and we bought quite a big piece. Had it for breakfast both Saturday and Sunday. And this is what was left over, so I thought, let's make Obatzda. Now, since my hands are dirty anyways, might as well mix this with your hands. And with dirty, I don't mean that they were dirty, they're just full of cheese. Otherwise, very clean. This already smells amazing. You just mix everything really well. Now I'll clean up my hands, and then we'll add some salt and pepper to make sure that it tastes good. But I'll first clean this up. And obviously we shouldn't forget our beer. But just a quick taste to see where we stand, because the cheese was very ripe. Doesn't need much. It needs a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and just a little bit of beer. 3 turns of the pepper. A good pinch of salt, 1.5. And now for our nice Bavarian wheat beer. It's not a lot, like that, and then one for me. Cheers. And I will mix this. I think that should be good. Let's give it another try. That's a really good Obatzda. And now we're pretty much ready. I don't have a pretzel, so I'm just going to make a bit of my sourdough bread. Take a slice. But let's plate this up. Just make like an egg of it. Put the pickled onion, the chives on top, and then we'll taste it. But before we do that, if you're stuck with me this far, it's a short video today, so I hope you're all sticking with me this far. Do me the favor, hit that thumbs up button below. It really helps me to get the spread due to the YouTube algorithm that no one understands. So hit that thumbs up below, thank you. Now let's plate. And what we'll try to do is just, let's see if we can get some kind of eggy shape. It's not so easy because it's a bit warm. I dried off the pickled onions on some kitchen paper. And then our chives. Pretty good, right? Let's dig in with a piece of bread. Now all you need is a good piece of bread and something to spread it with. Try to not take all the onions at once. Cheers. I had to cut there because it needs to be chewed a couple of times. But wow. And it's not that classical to have pickled onions on it, but I think it really works well with the Obatzda because you have a bit of the sweetness and sourness. I just love this. This together with a cold beer, I'm in heaven. I had to do a lot of cutting now during the tasting because there was a lot of chewing. Not because the bread is tough, but just because it's bread. I hope you enjoyed this Obatzda, this Bavarian cheese spread. It's a real classic. I make it a little bit different than the traditional way. So I have no cream cheese. I use red onion, and I pickle some red onions to put on top. But except for that, it's quite close to the original. If you think you will like this and haven't tried it, give it a try. It's dead easy, and I'll put the rest in the fridge now, and it will keep a couple of days in the fridge. It's a great sandwich spread. But that's it for this time. Please, as always, support the channel by clicking the subscribe button and checking the bell icon This is probably one of the shorter one I've done in a while, but I hope you enjoyed it still. Take care. Until the next time.